Was Ibn Abdul Wahhab a Khariji? In an authentic hadith, the Prophet ﷺ is reported to have said, "O Allah, bestow your blessings on our Sham. O Allah, bestow your blessings on our Yemen." The people heard this and said, "and also our Najd." But the Prophet ﷺ just repeated himself, "O Allah, bestow your blessings on our Sham. O Allah, bestow your blessings on our Yemen." The people said, "O Allah's apostle, and also on our Najd." But again, the Prophet ﷺ just repeated the same dua, not including Najd. After the third time of the people asking for the Prophet ﷺ to include Najd, he said, "Najd is the place of earthquakes and afflictions, and from there comes out the horn of the head of Satan." So what's in Najd? Historically, the people of the Najd are characterized by ignorance and lack of knowledge about Islam. Najd was the land of the famous false prophet Musaylima, who fought against the Muslims and was killed in the Battle of Yamama. During the late 7th century, Najd then became a homeland for the Khawarij, who also waged war on the Muslims. Despite their ignorance, they claimed to know the religion better than the Prophet's companions, who they takfired and killed. When the Wahhabi movement arose, many scholars described them as Khawarij and linked them to the hadith condemning the Najd. These scholars noted that a defining feature of the Khawarij is that they declare mass takfir on Muslims and fight them instead of non-Muslims. Earlier we saw that the great Hanafi jurist Ibn Abidin in Radd al-Muhtar explicitly condemns the Wahhabis as Khawarij and says that they're at war with Ahl Sunnah. The great Maliki jurist Ahmad ibn Muhammad al-Sawi makes this connection in his commentary on Quran verse 35:8, which reads, "What about those whose evil deeds are made alluring to them so that they think they're good?" Al-Sawi says in his commentary, "It is said that this verse was revealed concerning the Khawarij, who distort the interpretation of the Quran and Sunnah and thereby deem the shedding of Muslim blood and the seizure of their wealth as lawful. This is exactly what is observed today among their likes, a group known as the Wahhabis. They think they're upon something true, but indeed they're liars. Satan has gained control over them and made them forget the remembrance of Allah. They're the party of Satan, and indeed the party of Satan will be the losers. We ask the most generous Allah to eradicate them." Sulaiman ibn Abdul Wahhab, in the book we quoted earlier, also condemns his brother Muhammad as a deviant and notes that his teachings conflict with hadith. According to hadith, the Prophet ﷺ calls for Allah to bless the Hijaz as a place of Islam, and the Prophet ﷺ condemns Najd as a place of misguidance. Sulaiman observes that his brother Ibn Abdul Wahhab has the exact opposite view, claiming that the Hijaz is a place of shirk and that the true Islam is only found in his Saudi state in Najd. The modern Wahhabis have another parallel with the Khawarij. What made the Khawarij deviant is they were attracted to extremes. They believe that if someone drinks wine or commits zina, adultery, then that sin would take the person out of Islam. But none of the Sahaba agreed with this. A Muslim can commit sins, even major sins, but they won't lose their iman because of that. But the Khawarij did not accept this. They began takfiring Muslims left and right and then killed those Muslims as apostates. And when the Salaf told them that their takfir was not justified, they accused the Sahaba of defending sins. If you say drinking wine is just a sin and is not kufr, that means you're defending drinking wine. And if you say committing adultery is just a sin and is not kufr, that means you're defending adultery. This was the twisted logic of the Khawarij, but we see the exact same reasoning from the Wahhabis. Just like the Khawarij exaggerated every issue into a matter of Iman and Kufr, the Wahhabis also exaggerate every secondary and tertiary difference of opinion into a matter of Iman and Kufr, even when those difference of opinion, that ikhtilaf, is justified Islamically. Rather than seeing other Muslims as just at most confused sinners who are in need of guidance, the Wahhabis view Muslims as just a bunch of polytheists, mushriks who must be takfired, boycotted, and killed. The typical Wahhabi response to this is to say that no, the Khawarij declared takfir on the basis of actions. That's what made them Khawarij, but we only declare takfir on the basis of aqidah. But it was none other than Ibn Taymiyyah who refuted this argument. Ibn Taymiyyah says it's not just about actions. The person who makes an interpretation with the intention of following the Prophet ﷺ is not declared to be a disbeliever and is not declared to be sinful if he performed ijtihad and made a mistake. This is well known among the people with regards to matters involving actions. However, when it comes to matters of belief, meaning aqidah, many people declare those who make mistakes to be disbelievers. However, this statement is not known to have been said by any of the companions or the followers who followed them with excellence, nor from any of the imams of the Muslims. In fact, it originates from the statements of the innovators, Ahlul Bid'ah, who innovate new beliefs and declare those who oppose to be disbelievers, such as the Khawarij, the Mu'tazila, and the Jamiyah. This also occurred among many followers of the Imams, such as some of the followers of Imam Malik, Imam Shafi'i, and Imam Ahmad, among others. Ibn Taymiyyah says it very clearly here, even in matters of aqidah, exaggerating an issue or inventing new distinctions and then takfiring anyone who doesn't accept them is from none other than the Khawarij. It's almost as if Ibn Taymiyyah is describing Ibn Abdul Wahhab and the Najdi Dawah to a T.